President Trump was elected to make tough decisions, so now we wait and see. It is reported that Iran sent a missile blowing up part of an Israeli hospital this morning. They went on to wound 200 people. The war, it rages on, and whether or not we now get involved remains to be seen. But there is another conflict we're involved with right now, and it's here at home. You can easily make the argument it's being led by Democrat politicians, and I don't say that lightly. That's the attacks on all the ICE agents all across the country, and everybody, it's ramping up. They burn our flag in Iran and chant death to America. Well, the riders that have been sent into our cities, they are doing the same thing while they assault our law enforcement. And it didn't stop in Los Angeles. Last night, the Department of Homeland Security, they went ahead and put this video out. A lot of different scenes there. The first one, in the woke utopia of Portland, Oregon, rioters targeted federal law enforcement. The DHS says 250 rioters launched fireworks, shined lasers in officers' eyes to temporarily blind them, and then they went on to storm an ICE field office. The DHS says 5 individuals were arrested on various charges, including assault on federal law enforcement. I think maybe they lost their way a little bit in Oregon, don't you think? And I told you about this last night. But since we're talking about that state again, I thought I'd bring it up. It's the same state where they're inviting drag queens into the State House to put on drag shows. That is official business now, I suppose, in the state of Oregon. You see what Democrats are prioritizing: drag shows at the Capitol, and then, of course, going after our law enforcement. There's also this. A Texas man has been arrested after he had plans to kill law enforcement in Los Angeles during the recent riots.
Texas man is facing charges after federal prosecutors say he wanted to use explosives purchased in New Mexico to kill police and government officials in California.
It's now been confirmed in Minnesota as well that an ICE agent was badly wounded while trying to arrest this guy. Real winner here, Roberto Carlos Munoz, an illegal alien child rapist from Guatemala, being harbored by Minnesota Governor Tim Walz thanks to the sanctuary laws that they have in his state. Here is the local CBS report on that.
These images show the officer's hand in the vehicle. In this video, you can see the driver take off with the agent hanging from the car, dragging him 300 feet through front yards.
That little clip there, that snippet you saw, he had 30-some stitches in his arm because of that. There's also been plenty of other crimes committed against ICE agents. In fact, the Department of Homeland Security, they just updated their stats. It was originally over 400%. Well, the new data reveals that ICE law enforcement is now facing a 500% increase in assaults while carrying out enforcement operations. Make no mistake, sanctuary politicians are contributing to the surge in assaults of our ICE officers through their repeated vilification and demonization of ICE here. What I want to do is I want to highlight the bottom part of that X post again. It's make no mistake, sanctuary politicians are contributing to the surge in assaults of our ICE officers through their repeated vilification and demonization of ICE. I mean, where do you think these people are getting their cues from? Where are people learning to behave like this? It's Democrat politicians. That is where they are learning this from. You know, we've been keeping track of the number of Democrats who've been arrested or detained or put into cuffs recently over immigration. Right now, I can bring you up 4 quick examples. The latest, of course, is New York City Controller Brad Lander at federal immigration court this week. We had U.S. Senator Alex Padilla at the Christie Nunn news conference. He had to be dragged out because he came in, barged in, he was acting insane. Also, there was the situation with Congresswoman LaMonica McIver and Newark, New Jersey Mayor Ross Baraka when they tried to storm an ICE facility there. Now, does anyone see a pattern here? Because I do. Like maybe Democrats are doing this on purpose for the publicity. You know, if it looks like a duck quacks like a duck, probably a duck, right? There's another saying, I won't go there. Brad Lander's running for New York City mayor. He immediately goes on MSNBC after that happened. Alex Padilla, a grown man and sitting U.S. senator, he goes on to give a speech on the Senate floor, and then he starts crying about it. There was a ton of media coverage for Mayor Baraka and Congresswoman McIver. The issue with this is the precedent this is setting, like the DHS said in their post, and then useful idiots picking up on it. And then the result is, something like this, everybody. Attacks on law enforcement like what we saw in Los Angeles. Democrats aren't getting their way with immigration, so now Democrat politicians are pulling publicity stunts to get put in cuffs, which sets the example. Then you wind up with real life or death situations like giant boulders being thrown at law enforcement or men from Texas buying explosives with the intent to kill law enforcement. But there's more. Down in Nashville, the Democrat Mayor Freddie O'Connell, he's taken steps to put ICE agents in danger. Here was a recent headline. Not sure if you're all aware about this. Nashville mayor faces scrutiny after releasing ICE information, federal agents' names. But the mayor doesn't think that has put them in any danger. Today, this is what he said the real issue is.
They may have some concerns. I'm far more concerned about the overall dynamic we have about unmarked, unidentifiable, masked people whisking people into vehicles. I think that's a bigger concern.
We're talking about the mayor of a major city in America doxing federal agents. These people have gone off the deep end. They're completely out of touch with what the American people want. And it basically boils down to this, everybody. That is American citizens first. America first. Guess what? 57% of Americans approve of President Trump deploying the National Guard in Los Angeles. Maybe this is why the DNC is running out of money. No one wants to contribute to lunacy. You know what else happened in Los Angeles today? Federal law enforcement, they were trying to use the parking lot at Dodger Stadium. DHS posted this. This had nothing to do with the Dodgers. CBP vehicles were in the stadium parking lot very briefly, unrelated to any operation or enforcement. Well, you know what happened? The Dodgers, they kicked them out. I'm sure that's going to help the situation out there. They kicked out our federal agents while they were trying to do their jobs. I think this is getting way out of hand. Seems like some Democrat politicians are, almost trying to make something really bad happen to our law enforcement. But that's just my take.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.